Hello and welcome. My name is Daffy Roth, and this is Voice of Cards, the Forsaken Maiden for the PC. Our last episode, we managed to get to the Eastern Isle where we met the Onyx Maiden and her companion Blight. I can't recall her name off the top of my head, but essentially the entire island is being overcome by swamps and not the best of circumstances. So with that being said, we did find the herb that she was looking for. We're supposed to return to the village, but what I wanted to do first was explore that path up north that we had. Ah, there we are. Okay. So let's enter the Wicked Wetlands, and we're just going to jump over to the other side there and see what this has in store for us.
In the distance, you hear the lowing of a monster. It would be dangerous indeed to blunder any farther.
Well, I feel like blundering. Alright, well, it's not going to let us. So, okay. Well, you know, can't say we didn't try. I'm just going to hop to...
As you enter the village, a number of the locals rush your group, shouting, "Welcome back, dear maiden." The villagers express their gratitude for her monster hunting, as well as their delight at the maiden's safe return. Queni responds to each of them in turn. The Onyx Maiden, bringer of hope to the village, appears to be quite beloved by its people. Once the villagers are out of earshot, you once again ask the Onyx Maiden to borrow her maiden's relic. She is at a loss for a few moments, but then informs you that she has something she'd like to show you. She guides you to the Maiden's Shrine.
To the shrine.
"I shall allow you to borrow my relic," the Onyx Maiden says, rendering you speechless. She continues on, revealing that she is actually trying to abandon her maidenly duty. But as far as you can tell, she seems to be giving her all for the sake of the village. Why then does she want to quit? If she fulfills her mission, the island will be protected. Is there something even more important than that? As if to answer your question, Queni slowly closes her eyes, and then, when the light subsides and your eyes regain focus, you see Queni, and there is a bulge in her abdomen. The Onyx Maiden is pregnant. She explains that she's been using medicine made from the Clockweed to keep her pregnancy hidden all this time. She has dedicated her life entirely to the protection of this island and performing the Maiden's ritual. But giving birth means her child, too, will be burdened with the same destiny of sacrifice. She wants to protect her child. That is her only wish, and she conveys it to you with all the agony of confessing a heinous crime. You can appreciate now why the Onyx Maiden wishes to abandon her duty. But will the villagers accept her decision? Quenie's anguish is plain to see as she runs a gentle hand over her stomach. Blight seems equally distraught as he holds out an arm to support her. It is not hard to imagine who the father of this soon-to-be-born child is. The anguished cries of the maiden, the last hope of a village facing oblivion, echo out in pain. The Onyx Maiden is laid upon a bed in the maiden's shrine. Word of her condition spreads, and the villagers are unable to hide their agitation.
Our Onyx ally held a secret upon which balanced both life and fate. Laty gained memories of friendship.
The attendant divulges a little of the Onyx Maiden's feelings toward the impending birth. Over the long years of their relationship, stretching back to their childhood, Queni has suffered misfortune aplenty. Through all that, never has she wished for anything except a safe birth for her child, whatever it takes. It seems that all the while Queni used the Clockweed to keep her condition secret, the child in her belly kept growing.
Obviously.
All this time you have spent crossing the islands, Laty has desperately sought to become a maiden. But now, having heard that Queni wishes to abandon her own duty, she seems conflicted. Suddenly, the door bursts open, and the village mayor enters the shrine, gasping for breath. The monsters of the wetlands are amassing for an attack on the village. Fighting them off with Queni confined to bed will be next to impossible. Your group decides to head into the wetlands and launch a preemptive strike on the fiend's nest where they're gathering.
Head for the Wicked Wetlands north of Fenmoss.
The mayor looks out over the wetlands, unsure of whether to celebrate the new life that has entered the world or mourn the loss of the maiden. She stares into the middle distance, murmuring to herself, "When was the last time a child was born on this island?" She goes on to explain that it's become too difficult to raise children here, especially with the threat of monster attacks.
Wait, did she give birth? Did I miss something? Hear this man tell it, blah blah blah, we already know that one.
I stand by the maiden forever and always. You reckon this woman would be by the maiden's side, no matter what becomes of her, or the island. I can't believe the maiden would abandon her duties, the man says, clearly worried for the future of the village.
I really feel like I'm missing something here.
You've got more to do right now.
Oh, okay. Well,
And none of it in this direction.
fine. I thought she was just preggo, not that she was like literally giving birth.
The rain falls in sheets. You spy the telltale signs of monsters between the drops, and in far greater numbers than before. Blight's eyes shine, and you can tell he wishes for nothing more than to protect his maiden. He advances, unbothered by the presence of the monsters. You forge onward through the wetlands to where they gather, at a place called the Fiend's Nest.
Maybe the Fiend's Nest deeper than the Wicked Wetlands. Well, I don't feel like fighting through everything, so let's go here.
You come upon a thronging nest of monsters in the innermost recesses of the wetlands. Every monster in the place has its eyes fixed firmly upon the intruders. That is, you. They roar in unison and begin to march forth. Their destination is clear. Fenmoss. The village is in grave danger. You mustn't let a single one of these beasts escape. You grip your weapon tight, ready to do battle.
Alright, let me explain. The upper left of the screen increases with each step you take. When it reaches 0, the enemy moves that distance. When the enemy is done taking action, you'll be able to act once again. If any monsters reach the exit of the nest, the game is over. Defeat nearby enemies first to ensure that none escape. Defeat all monsters
don't
before
let
they
a single
complete the
one
nest.
escape.
Bro, there isn't even a lot here.
A monster lurking in the depths of the nest rears back, its massive bulk puffing up as it inhales deeply. It looks like it's getting ready to do something, and whatever it is will be headed your way. You and your comrades stand firm in the face of the monster, readying your weapons.
Oh, I never healed. Whoopsies. Oh yeah, this is gonna be rough. I don't have a heal. Oh, time to bust out some. Oh, better use it. Nice, that was a good critical. I just need to get to the point where Laty can do her super heal. Or not.
The hulking beast bellows a blast of burning flame in your direction.
A monster will attack you every 10 steps you take. Keep a close eye on your mage. A wall of wetlands stands between you and the huge fiend. Defeat the monsters trying to leave the nest first.
Danger everywhere you look. You gonna be able to handle this?
Dude, it's like literally no. Give me more monsters.
Show them what you got.
Oh, he missed. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, I thought they would resist that.
Excellent.
Hitting like everything. But I need to do this. Fine. I guess because he's sealed, we can't. Well, whatever. We'll eat a fireball. And then we'll kill that thing. Ooh, power charge. Wow, generate okay.
Perhaps deciding that the ones slaying its kin are a threat. The massive beast that seems to be the master of the nest charges your way.
Bring it, brother.
At the same moment, more monsters appear from the shadows of the wetlands and begin moving towards the village. No matter how many enemies there are, you must stop their advance to the village. You and your comrades take deep breaths and prepare yourselves to face the monsters once more.
All right, the gargantuan monster has started its own advance. You ought to be spared its fiery attacks for now. Okay. The monsters from leaving. Okay, same thing. Oh, I forgot I needed to equip that power charge.
Fight him off. All right. magnificent.
I was so tempted just to go and kill the big worm.
Don't hold back. Fortune favors the bold.
Man, these guys didn't stand a chance.
The Nest Master's monstrous bulk trembles as it menaces your party. Steel yourselves, says Blight. As if in defiance of his determination, the massive fiend lets loose a terrible roar. You've come this far. It's time to win. Or die trying.
Ooh, music's cool. Still forgot to put that thing on.
Fortune favors the bold.
Yeah. Oh, man, I should have saved that. Oh well. I'm gonna hit him with fire. Yeah, I only needed the... Oh, there we go.
Fortune favors the bold.
Are you gonna be able to resist it?
Excellent.
Yeah, I had a feeling. It's stupid, but whatever. Ah, the worst. Oh, go for it anyways. Gross. Oh man. That was garbage.
Magnificent.
Is this the only thing you can do, bro? Um.
Yeah, it looks like your adventure ends here.
Wow. I'm keeping that in because that was pretty garbage on my part. So, all right, well, back in we go. Okay, so here we are, round 2. I actually have them properly equipped, or at least.
You've come this far. It's
Only
time to
difference
win.
is
Or
I haven't
die
killed the
trying.
other 2 monsters yet. I just went straight for this big lagoot. So, oh boy, look at that 1 damage. Not even worth it.
Magnificent.
I'm curious about this. Nice.
Fortune favors the bold. Yeah, that's the first time he's just attacked. Do my 1 damage. Ooh, she did 2. Shadow Bolt. I should have pumped him up. Let's do power charge. Which really just doesn't do anything, but okay. Magnificent.
Yeah, this is where we gotta be careful.
Magnificent.
Dude, what? Yeah, I know this. Ugh. I don't know if I'm gonna do this. I think I got it. Okay.
You did great.
That time. Thanks to the valiant efforts of the village has overcome the crisis. Well, still have the two enemies still.
After a fierce battle, the great fiend finally collapses to the wet earth in a spill of green ichor. At the death of their leader, the other monsters lurking about all withdraw at once.
Heck yeah.
Marvelous. You have managed to save Fenmoss from the danger it faced.
You fulfill the necessary requirements and unlock the Deathcrawler's enemy story. Alright.
The village's crisis is averted. You and your friends make your way back to Fenmoss to check in on Queni.
The only problem with me doing that in the monster running away is I lose about 1,600 gold. So.
No sooner do you pass the
XP.
threshold back into town than do the villagers surround you as though welcoming home great heroes. You inform the mayor that you've wiped out all the monsters, and though he seems momentarily delighted at the news, he also seems terribly flustered. This isn't the time for that now.
The villagers seem a little flustered, don't they?
You start to worry about Queni.
You damn men are useless.
A village woman comes running and barks angrily at the assemblage. She explains that Queni is going into labor, which might explain the men's panic at what they ought to be doing. The woman points at Laty. You there, come along and help. Without waiting for a reply to her demand, the woman drags Laty off.
Ah,
Difficult though it may be right now, all you can do is pray for Queni and the child's safe delivery.
Laty and Blight leave the party. Check on the villagers while you wait for the baby to be born.
Guess all we can do is wait, says the man regretfully. He looks as though not doing anything makes him uneasy, and busies himself giving bits of food to the bird perched atop his rucksack. Quenie's voice echoes out of the maiden shrine. You hope she can endure the pain.
Alright, so the woman... Check.
Blight is restless, his mind clearly abuzz with worry for Queni. The mayor gazes out at the swampy surroundings, murmuring to himself. To think that the entire village would come together for the sake of a new life. A baby's cry cuts through the silence, breaking the village from its tense reverie. Time, which felt as though it had frozen, begins to tick away once again. Faster than you can let loose a sigh of relief, Blight takes off in the direction of the maiden shrine. The baby's here. You rush after the amative attendant to the maiden shrine.
Go to the main shrine, check on Queen.
The newborn's cries echo through the maiden shrine. The villagers present for the birth have weary but happy expressions on their faces, and they wipe the sweat from their brows. Blight asks timidly, Is the baby? A young woman hands him a cloth-wrapped bundle. Perhaps because he has finally felt the weight of his own child in his arms. Blight's expression cracks, and he begins to weep, overcome by emotion. Such a relief, he says. He repeats himself several times as he walks over to Queni and shows her the child's face. As though having just fought a fierce battle, Quenie's face is lined with exhaustion and covered in sweat. Though her expression is somewhat pained, she looks at her child with a smile of deepest affection. The Onyx Maiden and her attendant have named the child Melanie, a word from the language of spirits, meaning eternal happiness.
Let's leave the island as a family to show the little one to the whole wide world.
With a tear-stained face, Queni gently inclines her head to her exuberant attendant. But then the strength seems to seep out of her.
Live a happy life.
With those final words to her two most beloved. The Onyx Maiden's eyes close for the last time. With its only maiden lost, this island is surely destined for ruin. As you prepare to sail away, you notice that the island is submerged just a bit more than it had been when you arrived. Almost as though the ocean is trying to swallow it up, now that it's bereft of its maiden. When you part ways, Blight hands the now useless maiden's relic over to you. You are hesitant to accept, thinking he might want to keep it as a memento of his beloved. Only when he insists, saying, Don't lose your home. Don't lose your island. Are you persuaded? The Onyx attendant then heads homeward, vowing to make Melanie's life a happy one.
I mean, we could all just move off the island.
Monsters run rampant across the sinking lands. The people of Fenmoss remain beset by numerous hardships. From aboard your ship, you watch the East Isle shrink into the distance. Eternal happiness. You pray that is what their future holds.
The Onyx attendant cares deeply for his charge, the misfortunate but loving Onyx Maiden. The two conceal a secret with the power of a mysterious blossom, but worry over their unborn child and the heavy burden of Maiden's duty. The heroes protect the village as the Maiden brings new life into the world. After bestowing her child with a name, the Maiden breathes her last, leaving the sinking island behind. The party prays for the happiness of the attendant and his child, but their hearts are shaken by the impossible balancing act between love and duty. The Tale of the Onyx Maiden. Finish. Well, I didn't see that coming. Crappy. The weight of happiness pressing down upon her, she protected her babes to the last. Laty and Lack have joined your party. We got Mirage Burst. Deal damage to all enemies and add the value of 2 rolls to party's attack for 3 turns. Venture north on the sea and search for the entrance to the island. Yeah, well, we know where it's at. You fulfill the necessary requirements to unlock Queni's flipside story. For Blight's flipside story. Yeah. I do want to go back to the town. We need to restock for 1. And then we'll call it an episode. I mean, the island looks fine to me.
Guess it's time to say goodbye to this village. As he says this, the man looks around, seemingly reminiscing over his life here. Blight hugs his child close. You can hear him murmuring, "I swear I'll make Melanie happy." You wonder what he will tell the child about her mother, the Onyx Maiden, and the island where she was born. I must lead the people, the mayor says as he stares out over the swamp. As he explains it, there is a continent far across the sea. He has a plan to move the villagers there.
There we go. Thinking. You fulfilled the necessary requirements to unlock the Mayor of Fenmoss flipside story. Yeah, I want to take a look in here. Alright, nothing in there. Thought maybe there'd be like a monument or something. Alrighty. Let's talk to this guy.
The man is gathering up all his belongings, hoping to be prepared even once the sea takes the island. Our dear maiden. The woman wipes away tears and turns to face you. You can see her eyes glowing with determination to live along with her fellow... You can see her eyes glowing with determination to live along with her fellow villagers.
Happened there. All right. Let's buy. Oh. Or fine. Getting to sell. Oh, yeah, I do. Alright, and I think we already bought all the weapons here, if I remember correctly, and armor. One owned. Okay, that's what I thought. But I did buy it though. Oh, this one's not. Oh well, whatever. Alright, let's head up the... The Onyx Maiden's warm heart never falters under the threat of monsters or the encroaching wetlands. As such, she is much beloved by her villagers. In spite of her heartfelt wishes, there was no shortage of those who hate the monsters and the dragon-like Onyx spirit who cut short the maiden's life. The Onyx Lieutenant has been proficient with magic ever since he was a child and has known the maiden just as long. He's made a quiet vow to use those powers of his to protect her. He swore to protect his and the maiden's child with his life, even if that means turning to ancient magics long forbidden to the village. The perpetually pessimistic mayor of Fenmoss, whose assessment of the village prospects wavers between heavy sighs and muttered dim indeed. Perhaps tinted lenses? He leads his people across the sea in search of a fresh start and escape from the grief of losing their maiden. The light of hope burns bright behind those dark spectacles. They got them all. Deathcrawler, this glutton of the monster kingdom, has no self-awareness or motivation beyond devouring everything in front of it. To encounter one is to have colossally bad luck. Should he be devoured, you'll be digested slowly along with everything else it has eaten. I suppose I should count myself fortunate that my wife and I are here together. Wow. I don't think I have this one. Yeah, story is locked. I do have that one. So I have them all except for this one, so... But with that being said, I hope that you enjoyed gameplay, or the story gameplay. That was, like I said, man, these stories can get dark. I wouldn't say it's dark. I mean, there is some hope. Hey, wasn't the chick from the first one Melanie, who learns all those super magics? Maybe this is like a prequel to the other one. I know they're not supposed to be connected, but you know, it wouldn't surprise me. So, but with that being said, friends, I appreciate you hanging out with me. As always, your time is valuable, and I try not to waste it. So, yeah. That being said, until next time, stay true to yourselves, follow your hearts, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.